الساعي المسيح دينه حق صلاح دينه ملك كبير هو في الدنيا نعيم وهو في الأخرى متاع.
Views and opinions expressed by the guest and presenters of Radio Al Ansar are not necessarily the views and opinions of Radio Al Ansar and the Al Ansar Foundation.
أحب الوفاء بشتى الصور أحب الوفي الأمين أمر.
Join me, Faizal MJ Suleman, this and every Saturday on Rise and Shine. Looking forward to gracing the airwaves of Radio Al Ansar from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Rise and Shine.
الوفاء بشتى الصور أحب الوفي أحب الوفاء بشتى الصور أحب الوفي الأمين أغر فأهل الوفاء.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم سيدنا محمد وآله وأصحابه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. All praise due to Allah, the Lord, cherisher, nourisher, sustainer and master of the universe, the most gracious, the most beneficent, the most merciful. Ya Allah, it is only you that we worship and it is your guidance that we seek. Ya Allah, keep us on the straight path. Ya Allah, show us the choice of blessings. Ya Allah, show us your mercy. Ya Allah, guide us. Greetings, salams, salutations on our beloved Nabi Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is now 7 minutes past 8 on this beautiful Saturday morning. Yes, it's nice and cool out there, and it is the 28th of September 2024, the 24th of Rabi al-Awwal 1446. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to Rise and Shine on Radio Al Ansar. My name is Faizal MJ Suleman, and of course, as I said, it is a beautiful Saturday morning. It's lovely out there, and engineering for me this morning is brother Asfat Fili, and logistics attended by Wasima Bucks. Program produced by Hajra Kota. That's your Rise and Shine team this morning. I trust you having a wonderful morning, and yes, we're all in the diamond walk mood, if I can put it that way. We've got our event that's taking place at the Saxony Westwood Mall since a Thursday. Alhamdulillah, it's been a beautiful event, and lots and lots of people have visited us, but we haven't seen you there. So today and tomorrow is your chance. Come join us at the Saxony Westwood Mall for the Diamond Walk event. Lots and lots and lots happening there. And of course, as the programs will continue today, we will be advising you of the various activities that's taking place there. But remember, lots of food, lots of shopping, lots of people that you're going to meet, lots of socializing, and of course lots of edutainment as well. And all your favorite presenters are going to be there too. So do make your way to the Saxony Westwood Mall for the Diamond Walk event. Coming back to a bit of current affairs, Section 27 concerned the looming budget cuts will erode education sector gains. Civil Society Organization Section 27 says it's concerned that the looming budget cuts will erode gains made in the country's education sector. Earlier this week, Basic Education Minister Suviviwe Gwarube painted a bleak picture of the sector's financial struggles while giving an update on the impact of budget cuts on provincial education departments. Gwarube highlighted that seven provincial education departments will not be able to afford their budgets by 2027-2028. Section 27's budget researcher Shidi Linkoasa said the onus was on the government to devise a plan to minimize the impact financial woes will have on poorer communities. NERSA will trim ESCOM's 36% tariff request. An energy expert says that the National Energy Regulator is unlikely to grant ESCOM the full tariff hike it has asked for. NERSA this week published the Power Utilities Multi-Year Price Determination Revenue application for public consultation. ESCOM has asked for a hike of 36% next year, 12% in the 2026-27 financial year, and 9% in the 27-28 financial year. A Durbanite have shared their views on how this is going to affect their lives. It is very much worrying, and if you look, we're already suffering from fuel hike, food prices, so now where are we going to get some more money to pay for the electricity? Well, that's going to be a huge problem, and let's hope that the matter can be handled accordingly. Counterfeit goods worth over 6 million rand seized in PMB bust. Police have seized counterfeit goods to the value of more than 6 million rand at a shopping mall in Pietermaritzburg. KZ and SAPS law enforcement agencies swooped on the center. They confiscated an assortment of fake designer items, including football jerseys and tackies, as well as electronic devices. KZN police spokesperson Robert Lunda says an investigation is underway to trace the origin of the goods. KZN transport officials prepared for predicted snow. KZN's Transport MEC Siboniso Duma says the officials have identified roads which may be affected by next week's predicted snowfall. He says the focus will be on the N3 between Harrismith Tugela Road, R617 between Coxlade and Underberg, M2 Mgweni, Mgeni and M3 Moiriva and other areas. A team to escort trucks and vehicles will also be available. The snow alert for Monday and Tuesday comes just after the province battles severe snowstorms. Okay, Asif is smiling at my being tongue twisted, but snowstorms. Yeah, that's a good one. Snowstorms. That led to a person dying of hypothermia on Saturday. Thousands of motorists were trapped in knee-deep snow for almost 48 hours on the N3 near Van Rienes Pass over the weekend. At a press briefing in Durban, Siboniso Duma says the department says teams are on standby. And Rand reaches intra-day high of 17 Rand 12 cents against the greenback. The Rand hits an intra-day high of 17 Rand 12 cents against the US dollar during South Africa's trading day. Currency specialist Andre Cilliers of Treasury One attributes this to continued positive sentiment generated by the government of national unity. President Cyril Ramaphosa's recent visit to New York and China, coupled with increased interest rate differentials between South Africa and the United States following the change in interest rates in the two countries, are said to have benefited the Rand. This has also been linked to the expectation that the US Fed is likely to continue on an aggressive path in cutting rates, which will tend to weaken the dollar and thereby strengthen emerging markets like the South African Rand. And finally, fuel price drop predicted for October. The Automobile Association says another fuel price drop is on the cards for motorists next month. The association says unaudited data from the Central Energy Fund indicate a significant drop in the petrol price. It will be the fifth consecutive decrease for the year.
شراب الحب يعرف بالمذاق وما كل السقاط له بساق شراب الحب يعرف بالمذاق وما كل السقاط له بساق أحب الله عن أدب وصدق ولا أرضى سوى التقوى خلاقي إذا ما عشت لا أنسى إلهي به أسمو من الأخرى المراقي أعز علي
0609041056. We look forward to your WhatsApp messages. First message comes from Brother Junaid. Says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Top show. It's a happy birthday to Zahra Ghulam Hussain for Monday. Have an awesome day. Jazakallah khair, Brother Junaid. And brother, a message from Brother M.H. Osman. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Faizal. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Always a pleasure listening to you, even with the tongue twisters this morning. Enjoy your day and be safe. MH, assalamu alaikum, jazakallah khair for that. Sometimes what happens is that when you're rushing to these things, yes, you do get tongue twisted, but alhamdulillah, jazakallah khair. The next message comes from Sister Ruqayya. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my brother Faizal and the Rise and Shine team. Let us try to replace hatred with kindness and love. The best way earn respect is to give it first. If your foot slips, you can regain your balance. But if your tongue slips, you can never recall your words. Think carefully before you speak another word. Means think before you ink. Excellent. I think that is so appropriate, especially for us being presenters on radio. Just one slip of the tongue and we're in deep trouble. May my Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you, my brother Faisal, your family, and the entire ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Ameen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala aap aur aapki family ko hamesha khush aur salamat rakhe, inshallah. Ameen. That comes from Sister Ruqayya. Jazakallah khair for that, Sister Ruqayya. Okay, there's a message. Okay, there's another message come. Okay, that's the ambush marketing, so I'm not going to be reading that advert. Okay, 0609041056. Let your WhatsApp messages roll.
بساقي أحب الله عن أدب وصدق ولا أرضى سوى التقوى خلاقي
Your journey starts here. Embrace an unforgettable adventure through magical Pakistan departing October the 15th. Visit the Badshahi Mosque in Lahore, the gardens of Islamabad. Experience the natural beauty of Skardu and a clear blue Atabad Lake of Hanza. Flights, transfers, visas, 4-star accommodation, daily breakfast, dinner, and guided city tours. Call 031-001-7062 or visit 55 Problem Kiza Road, Durban. Worldview Travel.
Discover a world of financial wisdom. From centuries-old traditions to modern wealth, our innovative Sharia banking offerings ensure you can grow and secure your legacy while staying true to your values. Let us guide you on your journey to virtuous financial well-being and help you bank with purpose. Search Standard Bank Sharia Banking to learn more. Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Did you see the lunch deal happening at Nando's Saxony Westwood Mall?
Gee, I did. What's a great deal? We should order.
Absolutely. I mean, Nando's are the OGs when it comes to flame grilled goodness.
Definitely the brand you can trust.
Nando's Saxony Westwood Mall is NIHT approved and brings you the freshest ingredients, memorable taste, and flavors so enticing it'll make you come back for more. We deliver. Order one of our delicious platters. So place your order now on 031-266-2493. Nando's, fired up at the Saxony Westwood Mall.
Ladies, are you concerned about your health and well-being? Then the Al Ansar Cancer Support Group's annual Cancer Awareness and Chai Day is for you. Dynamic speakers, health and wellness exhibition, and awesome tea garden. Lucky draws, free blood pressure and sugar checks, free entry. Join us on Saturday, 12 October 2024 at the Al Ansar Conference Center, 207 West Road in Overport from 9 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Let's unite to fight cancer's might. For inquiries, contact Rabina Parak on 082-786-8815 or Zora Jadwat on 08-222-03131.
Taiba bulalo, Taiba bulalo, Taiba bulalo, Taiba bulalo. Ya Nabi, Ya Nabi, Ya Nabi. मेरे मदीने वाले आका या नबी बार बार मदीने में हो जाए मेरा जाना बार बार मदीने में हो जाए मेरा जाना फिर और ना कुछ मांगे सरकार का दीवाना बार बार मदीने में हो जाए मेरा जाना पल पल मेरा दिल तड़पे दिन रात करे जारी कब आओ मदीने में कब आए मेरी बारी कब जाके मैं देखूंगा दरबार वो शाहाना दरबार मदीने में हो जाए मेरा जाना
You listen to Rise and Shine on Radio Lansar, and the country isn't adequately prepared to manage extreme weather events like the snowstorm that slammed KZN last weekend. We have online with us Professor Tafadzwa Mabozi, Professor of Climate Change, Food Systems and Health with the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. He is also an honorary professor with the University of KwaZulu-Natal. Professor Mabodi, good morning to you, and thank you for joining me on the program this morning.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure, Professor. Professor, what are the main reasons for South Africa not being adequately prepared to manage extreme weather events like the recent snowstorm in KwaZulu-Natal?
Okay, there are several reasons for the lack of preparedness. The first of which is the main one, is finance. There isn't adequate climate finance in the country to finance adaptation needs at the scale that is required. So we need funding. The second one is related to infrastructure, that as you are seeing some of the extreme weather that we've been experiencing, our existing infrastructure planning and designs were not designed to deal or handle with such as the snow that we experienced recently. The third one is related to capacity, having the right sort of technical skills to be able to plan, design, and implement appropriate response strategies in times like that. The fourth is a lack of awareness in terms of climate change and its implications or impacts. And then, of course, there are other challenges related to planning effectively and coordination and collaboration across the different sectors of government to be able to respond proactively and anticipate these things.
Now, having said that, it's obvious that, South Africa lacks the correct infrastructure like snow plows, to clear roads if quickly. Now, how soon could local governments realistically implement, the solutions and the changes, and what challenges might they face in doing so?
So the first challenge is funding, because already our local municipalities are struggling with service provision, providing water, electricity, the basic services that they're already mandated to provide. We already have inadequate infrastructure in those sectors. Now, climate change is just amplifying pressures across all of these systems that are already under pressure. So, one, we need to urgently mobilize significant finance resources to augment what is already available in the fiscus, because the fiscus on its own cannot fund what is required. Local municipalities need to come up with, climate financing strategies that identify what is needed and cost it appropriately and put it into a time frame, and then be able to move into the procurement. So while some things can be done under emergency procurement, those are usually linked to relief, like what they were doing, coming in to clear the snow, assist people after the disaster. But the proactive part requires a bit of time for them to be able to do actual costing, put it in their budgets, and then take it through to procurement.
Now, is there any coordination between national and local governments to address climate adaptation, and how can this be improved to mitigate the impact of future extreme weather?
So there is coordination in terms of planning. That national has a policy framework, a climate change response strategy, and they have been supporting provinces and district municipalities to develop their own climate change response strategies and so forth. But the real gap still comes in to say there is no actual funding that is then directed towards climate change adaptation, which means local municipalities have to mobilize or reallocate resources within their existing budgets to fund climate change adaptation or source funds from elsewhere. In another space, also, there is no dedicated capacity to resource or additional resources to resource the function of disaster management within provincial and local disaster management centers so that they've got adequate personnel who are well trained, who can be able to assist and direct events in that manner. So the issue of finance becomes a stumbling block to implementing what might be there on paper in terms of strategies.
Now, are there any immediate steps that local communities or businesses can take to protect themselves against these types of natural disasters?
Yes, the immediate steps. First is being aware and making sure that all our citizens are informed and aware about climate change. The second one is localizing early warning systems so that they shift from being a national to more community-based early warning systems so that we make sure that people who are in the exposed area and who are vulnerable receive the messages. Thirdly, we can develop protocols that guide what the effective response actions should be relative to the scale of warning that has been issued. And those can be trained and implemented at local levels so that when a warning is issued, as was done, with this snow, people would be aware, take the warning seriously, and also know what sort of actions they're supposed to take. Uh, Elsewhere, we need to work on rehabilitating our natural environment so that we halt actions that further degrade the environment, that damage our wetlands, that damage our grasslands, that damage our forests, and so forth. Those are actions that we can take locally, that we can work together at a local scale to implement. Even now, as we are heading towards our rainy season, we have a responsibility to ensure that we are not dumping litter and garbage into storm water drains so that when it starts raining they can play their function of diverting water away from roads and settlements. So those are responsibilities that as citizens we have because we're the ones who dump litter in there, but also municipalities can come in and support in terms of ramping up refuse removal efforts and so forth. So there are several actions that as citizens working together with our local municipalities and also together with businesses that exist within our communities we can take to address some of these things.
Now, Professor, are there any examples of best practice in climate change adaptation that we could build on?
There are several good examples. For example, here in KwaZulu-Natal, the first project that was financed by the Adaptation Fund, which is established, which is a global fund established under the UNFCCC framework. So the first climate finance, international climate finance to come to South Africa came through a project called the Mgeni Resilience Project, which was a partnership between the South African National Biodiversity Institute, the Department of Forestry, Fisheries and Environment, the Umgungundlovu District Municipality here in KZN, and the University of KwaZulu-Natal. And in that project, they piloted several interventions like early warning systems. They developed the lightning early warning system, flood forecasting early warning system, fire early warning system, They also touched on the environment, clearing alien invasives, restoring grasslands, strengthening natural infrastructure for flood attenuation. And they also constructed bridges in low-lying areas to help people cross and move during times of flooding and so forth. So there are examples of how these interventions can be done in partnership with the different sectors and entities. But it was just one project. It was 7.5 million US dollars, but it provides examples of partnership and how those can be scaled provincially as well as nationally. But I think the important thing to see is, one, there was finance to undertake these interventions. Two, there was partnership across different organizations and sectors. And thirdly, there was a lot of collaboration across government, private, and public sector.
No, I think that's absolutely vital. Now, Professor, just before we round up, there's a warning for Monday as well. They're expecting snowfall as well. You have any knowledge of that, and maybe you can just address us on that?
So there's a forecast for cold weather starting on Monday, and a likelihood of snowfall. So I think, again, we encourage people to follow the weather updates from the South African Weather Services, as well as listen to radio stations and the news, so that you keep getting updates regarding the forecasts and the warnings if they are being issued and when they're being escalated. We would also encourage our local disaster management centers to also ramp up or amplify the communications to members of our communities who may not be able to access this information through these other media channels, and just ensure that everyone understands what it means and is capable of responding effectively if the need arises.
Professor Tafadzwa Mabodi, thank you very much for joining me in the program this morning and sharing those thoughts with us. We will be talking to you again. Enjoy the rest of the weekend and all the best to you, sir.
Cheers, thank you very much.
We spoke to Professor Tafadzwa Maboti, the Professor of Climate Change, Food Systems and Health with the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. He is also an honorary professor of the University of KwaZulu-Natal. And Professor Tafadzwa Maboti spoke to us about South Africa not being adequately prepared to manage extreme weather. And he spoke of the different aspects which South Africa needs to deal with. And of course, heading it all is the question of finance. Well, there is inclement weather expected for Monday. They're expecting lots of cold weather, rain, and possible snowfall. So do stay tuned. Do keep aware and check traffic alerts, weather alerts, etc. before you venture out on the roads. Let's take a quick ad break, and on the other side of this, we'll continue with the program, inshallah.
Radio Al-Ansar, Durban, 90.4 FM. Pietermaritzburg, 105.6 FM.
Are you or a loved one battling the disease of addiction? Is your family, life, relationships, work suffering due to alcoholism and substance abuse? Zensai Treatment, Recovery and Wellness Center are addiction specialists offering specialized psychotherapy and naltrexone therapy to help overcome addiction. Zensai offers hotel-style facilities to allow your loved ones to regain their dignity and overcome alcoholism and drug abuse in the most comfortable setting possible. Fight addiction. Call Zensai Treatment, Recovery and Wellness Center, the addiction recovery specialist, on 031 563 0751.
Imagine a place where luxury knows no bounds. This September, Al-Ansar presents the Diamond Walk at Saxony Westwood Mall, an affair where the ordinary transforms into the extraordinary. From September 26th to 29th, journey through a world of refined taste and unmatched elegance. Discover the newest culinary masterpieces, be captivated by the latest fashion, and lose yourself in the allure of the Dawood entertainment stage. We invite you to indulge in life's most exquisite pleasures. And yes, it's all within your reach. Welcome to the Diamond Walk, where your VIP dreams come
true.
The Sunday Westville Village Market is back, and we're excited to rock this October 6th at 123 Yon Hoffmeyer Road between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Indulge in delicious array of breakfast, brunch, lunch, or even an early dinner. There's something for everyone, with horseback riding, kiddies entertainment, shopping extravaganza for the parents, and giveaways, and more giveaways. Woohoo! Located opposite Westville Boys Eye and next to the Sufi Masjid, so you never miss a salah. Mark your calendars this October 6th at the Westville Village Market. See you there.
Looking for the perfect gift? Then look no further. The Al-Ansar shop has a wide range of international brands of perfumes, books, games, and also the latest in kitchenware, trendy bags, and much, much more at all affordable prices. Visit us at 207 West Road, Overport, or call us on 031 208 1601. Al-Ansar Shop, your one-stop Islamic shop.
Have you heard? Heard what? The latest. Join me, Kelly Ramazani, for a brand new, exciting show every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. for the ultimate guide to navigating the world of careers. We talk about side hustles, unpack careers that are in demand, careers that do not need a degree, job searching, career advancement, personal development, and so much more. Tune in every Saturday, 9 to 10 a.m. to unlock the path of your dream job.
Radio Ansar.
Israel-Hezbollah conflict causes widespread refugee displacement in Lebanon. Lebanese authorities say 60 people were killed, most of them Syrians, following an attack in the northeast of the country, as Israel widens the scope of its attacks, which it claims are targeting Hezbollah infrastructure near the border with Syria. It's resulted in widespread displacement. Let's listen to this clip.
In this Sidon Park, a family sits restlessly. They're among several families who have taken refuge here after fleeing their homes further south in recent days. These families are not fleeing for the first time. Most, if not all, are Syrian refugees who came to Lebanon to escape war, only to find themselves in the midst of war once again.
In the south, we can't live anymore. Bombs, no bread, life essentials, electricity, water. So we had to come here. We came to the coastal road. Our friends called us and said there's a garden we can stay in. So we are staying in the garden. We called the municipality and gave them our names, but nobody called us back.
Asad arrived here on Wednesday with his 3 sons and wife, who didn't want to be filmed. A builder, time here is time without work, and like everyone else, he doesn't know how long he'll be here. Volunteers, people say, dropped off food earlier this morning, 1 piece of bread, tomato, and cucumber per person. More support will be needed. We meet a woman who is due to give birth in 10 days, and a man whose young son was hospitalized by shrapnel days ago.
We are outdoors, no bed, no sheet to cover ourselves, no food, no drink. The UN is not answering and our names are registered with them. Concerning the war, we are talking about Syrian and Lebanese, but the priority is for the Lebanese. But what is our fate? We have been refugees for 10 years.
While speaking to people in the park, the sound of an airstrike is heard. People quick to check where it landed. It's about 15 kilometers away, but it's a stark reminder that calculations of where is safe, where is far enough north, are often in vain. In the city of Sidon, 50 kilometers from the border, some people flee here, some people flee from here, and those that remain are mostly staying in their homes, the streets and restaurants deserted and empty of their normal traffic, and that's affecting wages.
I threw away fish worth $700. All the product was expired. We are without work. The country is paralyzed. We have been without work for 5 to 6 days, and we can't buy bread. The bakery will only give us 1 pack of bread. If you have 7, 8 children, how can you feed them from 1 pack of bread?
The losses of this war are untold for the residents of Lebanon. Among the most crippling, dignity, life, safety, and income. If the needs of the people are ever going to be fully accounted for, it will take months. In the meantime, civilians continue to pay the cost of a war being fought between multi-layered crises. Priyanka Navani, TRT World, Sidon, Lebanon.
You're listening to Rise and Shine on Radio Lansar with myself, Faizal MJ Suleman. Just to update ourselves with some of the messages that are coming through. Message from Sister Zarina says, Salams and Duas. Jazakallah for an inspirational program. Can you please play Maki Dua? Shukran. We will play this during the course of the show, inshallah. Message from Mrs. Rahman says, Assalamu alaikum, Faisal. A former Prime Minister of Israel said that Netanyahu must stop. The Israelis are gone. Who is he protecting? Kamala Harris said it is not good to see what is happening to the Palestinians. Just for gags, a man told his friend, I have an heart is open. The friend asked, when did you go for open heart surgery? Have a good weekend. Comes from Mrs. Rahman. Thank you very much for that, Mrs. Rahman, for the beautiful message. Message from Sister Leila Mehta. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to the blessed Ummah of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Peace, blessings and salutations be upon Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah for the blessings of another day as it glorifies from sujood. The favors of our Lord upon us is like never-ending galaxies. So many blessings that we can never deny. So many blessings that we can never deny. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ensure the Ummah of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam with mercy, protection and blessings. Ameen. May all your days be easy for you and your loved ones. Ameen. Have a blessed day and safe Jummah. Okay, I think I read yesterday's message, but my apologies. And okay, let's read today's message. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to the blessed Ummah of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Peace, blessings and salutations be upon Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah for the blessings of another day as it glorifies from sujood. So many people that were in our yesterday were not in our today. Every day is a privileged blessing. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enshrine the Ummah of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam with mercy, protection and blessings. Ameen. May all your days be easy for you and your loved ones. Ameen. Have a blessed and safe weekend. Salams and dua, Sister Leila Mehta and family. And then it says, inspiring reflections. The moment you acknowledge that life is truly a blessing, you will know and feel the difference. Time spent living is time worth appreciating. And finally, the hadith says, Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala Rasulillah. Sayyidina Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu reported that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, do you know who is a bankrupt person? The Sahaba said, a poor man amongst us is one who has neither dirhams nor any goods. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the real pauper from my ummah would be he who will come on the day of Qiyamah with salah, fast and zakah, but he had hurled abuses upon someone, slandered others, unlawfully consumed the wealth of someone, shed the blood of another and struck others. So his good deeds will be credited to those people who suffered at his hand. If his good deeds get depleted before he can settle those he oppressed, then their sins will be flung onto him and he would be thrown into the fire. Wow, that's really, really, really frightening. Yes, before we take our next guest, salams, Brother Faizal, to you and listeners. Have a Mubarak day, thought for the day. Speak in such a way that others love to listen to you. Listen in such a way that others would love to speak to you. And the message comes from Abbas and Fatima Sheikh, North Beach, Durban. And before I read Brother Yusuf Patel's message, we're going to get, I think let's read Brother Yusuf Patel's message and then we can get our next guest on the line. The more I think it over, the more I feel that there is nothing more truly artistic than to love people. Make every day a joyous day. Make somebody happy. We are born alone. We die alone. Only through our love and friendship can we create the illusion for the moment that we are not alone. Listen to your soul. It's older than your heart and wiser than your mind. It was once said, the day you stop racing is the day you win the race. Salams and duas, Brother Yusuf Patel. Okay, let's get our guest on the line, Asfat, and let's listen to Nasheed in the meantime.
بشرى لنا نلنا المنى زال العنا وفالهنا بشرى لنا نلنا المنى زال العنا وفالهنا والله أنجز وعده والبشر وضحى لنا بشرى لنا نلنا المنى زل العنا وفيها بشرى لنا.
You're listening to Rising Channel Radio Al Ansar, and South African criminals no longer fear police. We have online with us crime analyst Mr. Willem Els, and who said that South African criminals have lost fear and respect for police as shootouts between criminals and police members are on the rise across the country. Mr. Willem Els, good morning to you, and thank you for joining me on the program this morning.
Good morning to you.
So, what is driving the recent increase in shootouts between criminals and police officers? Is there a particular reason that criminals seem to be more willing to engage in violence?
Yeah, there are various reasons for that, and one of them is, of course, that it seems that the police are being overwhelmed by just the sheer number of crimes and especially the amount of violent crimes that is really plaguing the country. If you look at last year, we see that just your serious contact crimes, that's your murders, rapes, and armed robberies. We look at about 180,000 of them that have been reported to the police. And all of that need to be investigated, but all of them, there's people behind that perpetrated the acts. They got firearms, they got access to a lot of serious firearms. We see that just in the past 6 months, more than 400 firearms were stolen from the police. So all of that culminates into a criminal network that is extremely well armed, with a police that is under-resourced and under-trained, and also that lack morale. They are fighting against a overmight of the onslaught that is just overwhelming them, our judicial system that is collapsing and not backing them up, and also a political will that is not there to support the police in what they are doing. So all of that created a perfect storm for these criminals to become so brazen that they lost their fear for the police.
Now, what factors do you believe have contributed to this shift in attitude? Is it due to perceived lack of consequences?
I think so. If you look at your detection rate, the detection rate for all crime in South Africa, that is from a person that has been arrested, a suspect has been arrested, the case is being investigated, he's gone to court, this suspect has then been found guilty and sentenced to prison. And in only 12.5% of all the cases of all the crimes in South Africa, that is the outcome. So if you are a gambler, I mean, the odds are overwhelming on your side if you are a criminal.
Now, how are criminals obtaining such firepower that allows them to confidently engage in shootouts with the police? Is there an increase in black market trade of weapons, or are they sourced through other means?
Yeah, there are various sources. I said in the past, the police proved to be one of the main resuppliers of firearms to the criminal world because of firearms that are being stolen from the police, but also policemen, see more than 90 policemen in the last year have been attacked and their firearms robbed from them. So they became a major source, willingly or unwillingly, of these criminals. We also see with every cash and transit robbery, for instance, those convoys are being guarded with serious guns, with AK-47 or those type of weapons, and then they are also taken along with the money that is stolen. But apart from that, a recent study indicated that about 4.7 million illegal firearms are in circulation between South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Mozambique.
And do you think that police officers are adequately trained and equipped to handle these high-risk situations?
You can't look at the police and say this is the police. You have to look at your specialized unit. You've got your normal station police officer, you've got your detectives, and then you've got your more specialized units like the TRT and the NIU, and then of course the Special Task Force. Now, our specialized units are adequately trained. They are well equipped and so on. But the problem with your normal station policemen, those guys that you see driving the van and responding to your crime, to your complaints and so on, unfortunately, indications are that many of them have missed their reasons. They're supposed to, in terms of their regulations, to have an annual firearm session on the shooting range where they are validated and so on. And we see that that is not happening because of a shortage of manpower, but also because of a shortage of funds. So that means that that policeman that has to use his or her firearm, they do not have that confidence that they're supposed to have if they are adequately trained with that firearm. You have to sharpen it up. You can't drive a car, learn to drive a car, and then don't drive a car for 20 years and just expect to get back into the car and drive as if you're an expert. You have to maintain that training, and that is your challenge. But we must just understand, whenever they are also trained in their firearm use, the laws and the legislation is imprinted in them. When may you shoot, when not to shoot, etc., etc. Because that police officer, when they are issued with a firearm, they have to remain within the boundaries of the law when they are using it. And just as you and me, if we are in trouble, if we are using our firearms illegally, they are in trouble. So it puts a tremendous burden on those police officers to, in a split second, have to make this decision: am I allowed to shoot now or not? Because in every shooting incident, the IPID will investigate it where the police has been involved, and should it be found that those policemen did not use it within the auspices of the law, they are going to be charged like you and me for murder. So it really places a tremendous burden on the police.
No, undoubtedly, especially in serious situations, you don't have time to think. And,
that's correct.
And that's where the problems come in. But in your opinion, sir, what are the deeper societal or economic factors contributing to the rise in violent crime? And how can addressing issues like poverty, unemployment, or drug trafficking reduce the likelihood of such confrontations?
Yeah, in the first place, I think you just mentioned quite a few of the drivers of crime. And your challenge with that is, every year the minister has to go stand in parliament and he has to explain, because in terms of the constitution, the police is responsible for the prevention, the combating, investigation of crime. So now the problem is the police do not have control over those drivers. The police don't have control over the socioeconomic drivers, like you mentioned. But now the police have to take responsibility for that. So what we would suggest is that we have to sit down, government has to sit down, they have to bring together all the different departments and role players, and together they have to develop a holistic crime prevention program which is informed and guided by the police, but where all the role players take responsibility and together come up with a strategy. Otherwise, 5-10 years from now, we're going to have the same discussion, and we're going to say be in the same place. So that is the one part of answering your question. The second one is unfortunate in South Africa. We've got a huge influx of illegal foreigners and people coming to look for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And when they get here, it's not there. And when they can't find job, because there's obviously there are job opportunities for qualified and skilled people, but not for unskilled labor. And what your challenge is then, when those people do not find that pot of gold, unfortunately, many of them do resort to crime because that is the only way out. But that also created a criminality in South Africa, where we are ranked number 3 in terms of the criminality index in Africa. That's the 3rd highest. And your challenge with that is that along with that, easy money brings greed, and it is a snowballing effect where once they gain this easy money and they start to become greedy, and the consequences are not there. Impunity is there because of the lack of response. It's just a snowballing effect, and it becomes a vicious circle.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Els, unfortunately, that's all we have time for. But thank you for joining me on the program this morning and sharing those stats with us. We will be talking to you again. Enjoy the weekend and all the best to you, sir.
Thank you very much. You too.
Thank you. We spoke to Mr. Willem Els, a crime analyst, and he spoke to us about the state of South African criminals who no longer seem to fear the police. We're going to be taking a quick ad break. We'll continue on the other side of this.
Celebrate all things new with Randry Jewelers Spring Break Sale, because after the rain comes sunshine and sparkles. Join us in store the 25th of September until Monday, the 30th of September, to shop fantastic special on gold, diamond and silver jewelry. We will be open this Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Don't miss out on Randry Jewelers Spring Break Sale. Randry Jewelers, the family name you can trust.
Get ready because something extraordinary is about to happen. From the 26th to 29th of September, Al invites you to step beyond the Velvet Rope at the Diamond Walk in Saxony Westwood Mall. For just 4 days, luxury becomes accessible and the impossible becomes reality. Savor the finest cuisine and explore exclusive fashion and be dazzled by electrifying entertainment, big prizes, unforgettable experiences, and the chance to be a part of something truly special, all waiting for you. Don't just stream it, live it. The Diamond Walk, your front row ticket to the extraordinary.
Come get our butcher's best for less at Checkers Foods Kawi Park. Enjoy certified halal butchery products like chicken breast fillets, just $64.99 per kilo, Danya sausages, just $99.99 per kilo, and half lamb, just $98.99 per kg. Deals valid from Thursday, September 26th to Sunday, September 29th. Only at Checkers Foods Kawi Park, now certified by the NIHT, the National Independent Halal Trust, across our butchery, bakery, and deli.
They convinced the world to believe that terrorists look like beards and thobes. Now, as the facade cracks, one martyr after another, the world sees through the broken windows and now knows the true face of terrorism. It wears suits and ties and smiles behind lies.
اللهم احفظ المسجد الأقصى من اليهود الحاقدين اللهم أعد المسجد الأقصى إلى رحاب المسلمين اللهم وطهر المسجد الأقصى من اليهود الغاصبين اللهم عليك بهم فإنهم لا يعجزونك يا قوي يا متين اللهم منزل الكتاب مجري السحاب هازم الأحزاب سريع الحساب اهزم اليهود وزلزلهم يا قوي يا عزيز खुदा ने मुझको दिया तेरी दुआओं से माँ तेरी दुआओं से मिला जो
You're listening to Rise and Shine, and a message that comes from Sister Shenaz Sheikh. Assalamu alaikum. It says, Mashallah, topic. Salams and duas go to my family. Jazakallah for playing this night, but too short. Unfortunately, that's all we have time for. Another message comes from Brother Yusuf Patel. Every wrinkle line yearning a story to tell. No subscription or fees to pay, but a lifetime of experience and pain to share. If you will but lend me your ears, know that when an elderly dies, a library is lost, and volumes of wisdom and knowledge are gone. Too often we don't realize what we have until it's gone. Too often we wait too long to say, I'm sorry, I was wrong. I should have respected your lines and listened to your songs, salams and duas, and that comes from Brother Yusuf Patel. Okay, message from Shana Sheikh. Okay, that's taken care of. Yes, thank you for those messages. It's time for me to round up, and I must thank Asfat Fili for having engineered for me, Wasima Bucks for the logistics, Hajra Kota for having produced the show. You're going to be listening to the news by Tabile Duma after this, and thereafter you'll be joining Kelly Ramzani on her career show. So, yes, that's it. We've got lots to look forward to. Remember that if you're in the Durban area, then you've got to visit the Saxony Westwood Mall where the Diamond Walk event is taking place. It's today and tomorrow. Time for me to bid you farewell. Enjoy the rest of the day. Enjoy the weekend. For myself, Faizal MJ Suleman. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
ये कामयाबियां शौक कदम पे मिले नसीब ऐसा मिला माँ तेरी दुआ से तेरी दुआ से माँ तेरी दुआ से